What's up, the world? It's your boy Tommy Mab, and I just came because I wanted to talk about the whole LeBron breaking the record thing and how it is literally Jordan fans coming out of the freaking jumping over the gate. I mean, oh my gosh, these people are freaking insane, right? Now, mind you, I haven't really seen much Jordan fan stuff for a little while now. It's been a couple, weeks since I really saw people posting about, Michael Jordan, LeBron James stuff. So, and maybe they do. I'm just not on social media that often, so I don't know. But what I saw was like over the last couple of days has been blowing my mind. These people are, like I said, I always think that Jordan fans are certifiably insane. Like I think the connection and love and excuse making and terrorizing the legacy of another player for the sake of some guy that they don't know blows my mind, right? I will never sit up here. There are people, this is the difference between Jordan and LeBron fans. LeBron fans, most of the time, will put Jordan in their top 5. They'll say, well, LeBron's 1. They'll either put Kareem 2 or they'll put Jordan 2. But they generally give respect to Michael Jordan's legacy. Jordan fans are the exact opposite. Most of them are fucking idiots, right? If you they don't put, a lot of them only put LeBron in their top 10. So it goes on to just discredit everything else they got to say, because then at that point you're just looking at like, so you just don't like LeBron. It ain't got nothing to do with the things he's done or how well he plays the game. You just don't like him. And then they'll start explaining why they don't like him. And it's always external basketball stuff. Oh, LeBron, he's always had the team exactly the way he wants it. And so did Jordan. Only difference is Jordan got a top 5 player drafted to his team. Then he got another top 25 player drafted to his team. The same team that almost went to the finals without him, he inherited. So why in the hell, what else could Michael Jordan have wanted? And people are like, well, Michael Jordan would never play with Charles Barkley. He never had to, and why would he? If I could dominate the NBA with the team I have, why in the world would I put Charles Barkley or go to Charles? One, it was almost impossible back then to even do that because players had no mobility, no powerful mobility. They couldn't do what they do now. But even if you humor that stupid ass argument, why would Jordan ever go to another team when he's dominating on the team he's on and it's not even close? There's no need to. So I'm pretty sure if LeBron was drafted a top 5 player and then like, I don't know, 3 or 4, a season after that, they drafted another top 25 player like a Horace Grant in his time, there wouldn't be no sense in LeBron going to Miami. He would never go to Miami. But on the other hand, the difference between them that dumbass Jordan fans don't understand is LeBron's game actually led to winning games. Michael Jordan's game did not. Michael Jordan's game led to him scoring a lot of points, but them getting bounced in the first round and still getting relatively high picks. So they were able to pick Pippen up early. They were able to pick Grant up early. So when you sit here with watching these games and you're sitting there trying to figure out the craziness of Jordan fans, don't waste your time. They're never gonna make sense. They're gonna say things that make absolutely no sense. And when you give them, to me, arguing with a Jordan fan most of the time is just like arguing with an irrational woman, right? Everything is I feel. Everything is over talking. Everything is I'm winning the argument by not allowing you to talk. I'm not trying to discredit your argument. I'm just trying to deflect so that the argument gets all jumbled, and when in the end we can just say we agree to disagree. See, a person who wants to have an argument with truth, they don't need to overtalk other people. They just let them talk because they know it doesn't matter what you say. I have the truth on my side. So no matter what you say, you can talk for an hour and you can try to spin the truth in whatever way you want. But at the end of the day, I have truth. And because I have truth, I don't have to argue with you about what you perceive as the truth or your deception, your deceitful way of trying to get around things you can't argue away. And when that becomes a problem, now me and you are just it's just unfair, because I'm going to let you talk, and everything you say I'm going to use against you because I can. You cannot prove that Michael Jordan is a better scorer. He does not have a higher shooting percentage. He shot way more shots and scored way less points. Cannot prove he's a better all-around basketball player. LeBron is going to be top 10 in 5 or 6 categories that are defensive, offensive, passing, rebounding, whatever you want to say. He's better than Michael Jordan in all those ways. You cannot prove Michael Jordan is better than him in all those ways, because he is not. So now what are we going to try to prove? Michael Jordan is a better player. How? He scored more points. Trae Young scores more points than LeBron. You think Trae Young's better than LeBron? No. Trae Young, that's the type of player Trae Young is. He shoots a lot. But at least he backs his up with assists. Michael Jordan just shot a bunch of shots. And when I'm sitting there talking to these people, they say, oh yeah, well, if you take out the fact that Jordan played 4 years in college, and Jordan played 2. Well, did Kareem play 4 years in college? What's your point? Every player that's ever played has played 4 years in college. But guess who didn't? A lot of people. And a lot of them ain't what LeBron is. There's been a lot of guys who went from high school to the NBA. None of them have that record. So you've already stuck your foot in your mouth. That makes no sense. Just because LeBron didn't play college, LeBron passed Jordan, 3-4 seasons ago? And still has plenty seasons left? He would have passed Jordan even if you took 4 years away from him. But let's just assume that your crazy argument is true. If Michael Jordan decided to play, Michael Jordan left his junior year in college, right? So he went 3 years in college. LeBron surpassed him, 2 or 3 years ago? So that means right now LeBron is still scoring at a high clip. Jordan, at LeBron's age, was not anywhere near Kareem's record. But we'll sit here and we'll have a discussion with idiots and dummies who will sit here and now they're bending over backwards. Well, if you add the third to the trapezius and throw it to the side, and then you got to add in that Jordan missed a season and a half because of baseball. What? If Jordan wouldn't have done that, Jordan would have had one. We don't know that Jordan would have been able to do what he was doing if he would have came straight out of high school. So that's a first lie. More than likely, probably wouldn't even played had he jumped from high school to college. Because people forget he wasn't even he wasn't in the top pick in his draft. So I doubt that he would have been in a position where people would just let him go like that. But luckily, he went to a team that allowed him to play his game. But from North Carolina, you can tell that Jordan could be stopped by coaching. If he would have went to a team that wouldn't allow him to shoot crazy like that, because there's a lot of people who could have done what Jordan did. Came in and just, shackles off, do what you want, and probably could have done what Jordan did. And I'm not trying to, once again, diminish what Michael Jordan did or how great of a player Michael Jordan is. But when me and you are having a discussion about talent, and you forced me to start actually breaking down the flaws in the thinking that Michael Jordan would have somehow been at 50,000 points. I heard somebody say, these guys are certifiably insane. They're nut jobs. And you're sitting there and you're having a discussion with somebody who's sitting up and telling you Michael Jordan should get the honorary most points in history because he didn't play. He played 3 years in college, which so did Kareem. So why didn't he get it over Kareem? Oh, all this stuff only comes to light when LeBron wins. And to me, it's crazy. I said this and I said this before. There's one player that I would put in the same breath as LeBron. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If someone argues that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is better than LeBron, I don't have an argument. Kareem is top 5 in a lot of different careers. Blocks, rebounds, points. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is points, assists, steals. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can make the argument Kareem and LeBron are versatile, great players that had a lot thrown on their shoulders. Like I said in my expose I did a couple years ago. I never had no problem with nobody arguing Kareem because I can argue. Me and you can argue back and forth. If you say Bill Russell, me and you can argue back and forth because ain't nobody touching Bill Russell when it comes to winning. And if you value winning more than anything else, I cannot make you value individual stats more than winning. So I can understand why you say Bill Russell is better than LeBron. Michael Jordan, on the other hand, no. Because your arguments, you have to defeat your argument to support it. You cannot say that Jordan's a better scorer than LeBron and then turn around and explain why he has a higher shooter. His percentage is lower. He's less efficient. He shoots more shots and makes less, and he has less. His 3-point percentage is lower. His shooting percentage overall is lower, and he has way less points. So how can you argue that the one thing he does better than LeBron, there's empirical data that he did not do that better than LeBron in his career? He just did it in a prettier way that you liked. It's like that idiot Cam Thomas. Oh, well, if it was, I'm more of a Kobe guy. I've never seen people like that. In my entire life, I've never seen a player do that. Could you imagine if they said, "Hey, LeBron, you're about to pass. You put yourself in the same stratosphere as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar," and he said, I'm more of a Jordan guy." Like, why would you say that? It's like people who hate LeBron. There's this vitriolic hate for the guy that I will never understand. Most of them never met him, never had a discussion with him, but they've been arguing their entire life that LeBron James is not as good as other people. Anybody who argues that Kobe is better than LeBron needs to get their head examined. They played in the same era. And LeBron did way more with way less. When Kobe had nothing, his team sucked ass. When LeBron had nothing, he was still destroying the league. So I don't understand how you can sit here and argue with people that Kobe is better than LeBron when they played in the same era at the same time. And LeBron was dominating the NBA while Kobe was there. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But I'll tell you the truth. The vast majority of people I talked to never had Kobe in their top 10. Most didn't have Kobe in their top 10. Then he died, and all of a sudden there's this discussion about him being better than LeBron and Jordan. I'm like, what are you smoking? You have no arguments. Kobe, Jordan shot like crazy. They had the ultimate green light. They shot when they wanted to shoot, and they missed. Even if they missed, they kept shooting. LeBron, he had that green light, but he never abused it like Zay did. And in the end, his teams benefited from it. So therefore, he was too good for his own good. He was good enough to beat most of the teams in the NBA. But when it came down to nut cutting time, and he played against defensive teams that were good enough to stop him or slow him down, he had nobody else who could help him. Because it's easy to dominate when you're that good. It's easy to bring everybody along, but at some point, you got to be able to get somebody else there that you can pass the ball to and play. So LeBron had to go to Miami so that the Cavaliers can get sucky enough to draft some good players. Then he went back, and when he went back, they added Kevin Love. For Brandon Wiggins, who they would have drafted anyways. So instead of him getting Brandon Wiggins, who was a damn good player who ended up winning a championship with the Warriors and had a pretty steady all-star career. So he just traded one all-star for another one that his team would have drafted anyways. So LeBron went to Miami so the Cavs would be sucky enough to get a good team around him, and then went back to Cleveland and won a championship with players that were essentially drafted to the Cavs. Why is that a bad thing? Oh, I get it. Because you need a reason to hate LeBron for everything. Now, there are plenty of reasons to be annoyed by LeBron. The extended celebration over the points thing is like, okay, we get it. You broke the record. At this point, the season needs to start. He did not play in a game that they desperately needed. I don't know why. LeBron sometimes to me seems like he just takes games. When you sitting up there, like he acts, this it's supreme arrogance to me about him that he's just gonna be able to just somehow find his way in. When they're losing and he's sitting out these gimme games, all these gimme games that they're barely losing, that he would probably be the difference in, he'll just sit out. Then all of a sudden, it's games, they're down one or two games that they would probably be winning had he played in them. I just never understand. You've had 2 days rest. I don't get it. It's not a back-to-back. Why he didn't play in the game against the Bucks, I don't know. They needed him. And a lot of people got to see the difference of when Russ is there and when Russ is not there. That bench can't score. It was obvious when they played the Bucks the first time and when they played the Bucks this time. All they had was LeBron. AD didn't play. I mean, AD did play, actually. Scratch that. I mean, all they had was the first team. Westbrook was the difference in that game. Every time Westbrook came in, the lead got larger. Now you take Westbrook out. And Austin Reeves is a great player, but he is not Russell Westbrook. Meaning he does not affect the game in all the ways that Russell Westbrook affects the game. Russell Westbrook is a pest on defense. He's a hard-nosed rebounder. He's a hard-nosed defender, and he plays the game with a ferocity that is intimidating to a lot of people. And he intimidates people in turnovers. Now, does he make one or two bad plays in the game? Yes, he does. But just because he makes one or two bad plays in the game does not negate the fact that he does 1,000 good plays in that game. But they want to string together his one or two bad plays in the game and ignore his 1,000 good plays. But you saw how much they need him. Now, will they need him as much when they get their reinforcement? I don't know. But I saw last night that Austin Reeves is not the facilitator that Russell Westbrook is. He's just not. You have all these role players and nobody who can get him the ball. William Gabriel didn't even look like William Gabriel last night. He did not look like the same William Gabriel that played when Westbrook was there. None of these guys can create their own shot. Even Anthony Davis didn't look like Anthony Davis without Russell Westbrook. And that's when LeBron would miss games. You can plug Russell Westbrook in there, and he could sub in for LeBron. He could attack the rim, and he can get in and suck the defense in, which will give people, allow the bigs to roll to the rim, and the 3-and-D guys to shoot, or Lonnie Young to get 1v1s at the top of the key. But Westbrook's gone. Austin Reeves can't do that. They were as credit to Austin Reeves, he was winning those 1v1 battles, but he wasn't getting everybody else involved. So when you watch the game, I'm sorry, I just wasn't impressed by. I'm not saying Austin Reeves is terrible. I think Austin Reeves is good, but he's a young guy, and he's a guy who's coming off an injury. So I give him a little leeway. But as far as getting everybody else involved, I don't think he did a good job doing that last night. Or maybe he did do a good job, but he did nowhere near as good as Russell Westbrook normally does. So I understand they had to trade Westbrook. They needed to get shooting. They need to get, they got a lot of stuff. But I think they're going to miss the veteran presence of Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook. Because now they got a young guy leading their second unit, and I don't know how much I would trust that young guy to lead that second unit, especially when the playoff times come. I know I'm trusting Russell Westbrook to be Russell Westbrook. Like I said before, if the Jazz buy out Russell Westbrook, I would be trying like hell to get him to come back to the Lakers. I would be trying to recruit him back to the Lakers at a lower salary, but I don't know if you can actually do that. But if you can, I would try to get him back. They said somebody said that getting Russell Westbrook out of there was like getting a vampire out of the locker room. I think that's ridiculous. From what I saw from the team, it seemed like they love Russell Westbrook. I don't think anybody hated it. I think the media does that. They hate Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook is like Barry Bonds. He's very one note with them. He doesn't give them good answers. He's not chummy with them, and he doesn't make them feel comfortable when they ask him questions. Generally, Russ is very honorary. He's very short, and media people like to show athletes their place and that they have the power to destroy their narrative, to destroy their legacies, all that stuff. When they treat reporters in a messed up way, the reporters remember that, and they treat them that way. That's why I never understood why Russell Westbrook started this war with the media all the time, where he's constantly, they started it with him first, always blaming him for everything and this, that, and third. So Russell Westbrook just started to be very honorary with them by nature, and I don't think that did him any favors now when he's doing a good job, but they're just spinning the narrative on him. And and you create an angry mob, and they created that angry mob around Russell Westbrook. You know, I really don't like that. I think that it was messed up for them to do that, and they basically took. I mean, you would think Russell Westbrook averaged 3 points on the Lakers. Last year, I think he averaged 18, 7, and 7, and this year, I think he's averaging around 16 or 17, like 9 and like 7, 9 or 6 or 7. I don't know, but I don't. I'm confused. He's coming off the bench. Last year you said it was because he was starting. Now he's coming off the bench and his numbers have not even changed, and you're still saying, "Oh, get Russell Westbrook off the team." Like, come on, bruh. Like, the people that hate Russell Westbrook are the same people that hate LeBron. They don't like athletic guys who can do a lot of things. They like shooters. They like guys who look pretty, can dribble, and then do fadeaway jumpers. That's their players. The guys who can do the grit work, the athletic specimens, most of them don't like those guys, because those guys are the guys that took their spots when they played. Because those guys can not only score, but they can play defense. They can do everything. All you could do is one thing, and that one thing you didn't make you special. Everybody could do it, and a lot of these Jordan guys don't get that. Shooting is a dime a dozen. Every kid that starts playing basketball from the time they're 5 learns to shoot the ball. It doesn't make you special, and it doesn't make you unique. It just makes you a player that shoots a lot. And if you get in a system that allows you to do that, as Kyrie Irving, you can get a lot of accolades. You can build up a lot of accolades doing it. But the minute you get into a situation where you need to do more, like Kobe found out, like Kyrie found out, like Tracy McGrady found out, that scoring doesn't do anything if you ain't got somebody else like a Pippen around you who could fill in for all your shortcomings. Jordan was able to pull that off because he had a top 5 rebounder, a top 5 rebounder, a top 5 defensive stalwart, a top 5 passer, a top 5 3-point shooter. Jordan had the prerequisite weapons around him to cater to the type of player he was. LeBron never did have those things. LeBron always had square pegs. He played with Dwayne Wade, who him and Dwayne Wade are similar types of players. But LeBron found a way to make it work. Kyrie Irving is not a defensive player. It's the exact opposite when LeBron plays with people. LeBron has to fill in for the shortcomings of the people around him. If a guy is a scorer, LeBron becomes the facilitator. If the guy is the facilitator, LeBron becomes the scorer. When the guy is weak on defense, LeBron becomes the help defense. When the guy is not a good rebounder, LeBron will get in the box and he'll start rebounding. LeBron makes up for the shortcomings of his teammates. Jordan's teammates make up for his shortcomings. And that's why I never have a debate with people about who's better and whose team helped them more. It's almost an asinine statement to make. 90% of what Jordan did was based on his teammates making up for him. 90% of what LeBron did was him making up for the shortcomings of Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, Anthony Davis, Dwayne Wade, injury prone, literally no 3-point shot, a aging slasher who could no longer get to the rim at will, who was always injury prone, always on the injured list. LeBron, never injured. Learn to shoot the 3. Learn to play off the ball. Took the top because they had to play with bargain basement guys with minimum guys in their rotation. LeBron became the guy who guarded the top defender. the top player on the other team. Oh yeah, he did all that while being their best passer and one of their best rebounders. Chris Bosh, also injury prone, soft. Soft as in he's not a banger. Rebounding wise, that LeBron step in the box helped him doing that. All right, and we ain't even gonna go into the shortcomings of the box, but injury prone. Switch over to the Cavalier. Kyrie Irving, young, inexperienced, erratic, one-man show. Used to having things his way. Get the ball, just fire it up anytime you feel like it. LeBron had to be the leader. LeBron had to put him on a leash, in which he unleashed him when it was time, but only when it was time. But he became the facilitator, the guy who covered up for Kyrie on defense, and the guy who rebounded. Kevin Love, slow, unathletic. Stretch 3, not the toughest, good rebounder, but below the rim rebounder, unathletic. LeBron covered up for all of that. Two guys who were liabilities on defense, and Kevin Love and LeBron. And Kyrie Irving. LeBron was the difference. And why those two guys were able to stay on the floor, even though they were liabilities. Liabilities that came to light once LeBron left. See, we can sit here, Anthony Davis, hurt all the time, right? And LeBron's aging at this point, so he can't make up for the fact that this guy's always hurt. His 3-point is just basically it evaporated. LeBron was able to step in